Good morning, people. It's another horrible Friday. It's windy, it's dark, just like last week. But this is the films I watched this week, and we'll just get straight into it because there's a few. But I kicked off the week with what I thought would be quite exciting. A Window in London. It's got a different name. The posters have got a different name to it. 1940. There's a guy riding on a train. And he looks through his window and sees in like an apartment, a flat, a woman being murdered. So off the train he gets, finds a policeman, goes to the apartment, the house, whatever it is. Turns out there's no one being murdered. And I thought, oh, well, that's disappointing. But as the film went on, my interest perked up a little bit more. But he gets involved with these two people who, you know, the guy's a jealous guy, and all that kind of stuff. It's not very good. I'll give it a 6. I just wish it had been more like what it appeared to be at the beginning. But never mind, what can you do? Then I watched Belfast. Kenneth Branagh, Belfast from 2021. All set in Ireland. Black and white film. We follow one family and one little kid in particular at the start of the Troubles in the 60s. A solid film. A very solid film. I like the beginning where we see modern Belfast and then we see a mural on a wall. And we go over the wall and then it turns into black and white. A very solid film. Good cast, good music, good acting. An 8 out of 10. I rather liked that. I thought it was pretty damn good, if I'm being honest, for that kind of film. Then a film called 20 Million Miles to Earth from 1957. Ray Harryhausen special effects. The effects not the problem in this film, not a problem at all. Spaceship, that's come from Venus. We sent Spaceship to Venus. Crashes in the Mediterranean off the coast of Italy. This kid finds like a container capsule full of gunge, sells it, then a little monster appears, and this monster's got a moustache. Little monster appears and it grows and it grows. It has a fight with an elephant. And it just needed to be more of a threat of a monster and do more damage than what it did. But I give it a 4. Wasn't great. But the effects I have no problem with. Then from 2018, a film called Alpha, which set 20,000 years ago in some age, an ice age. It had no the version I watched had no subtitles. I've seen other people, other places saying, well, this version, it has subtitles. It doesn't have subtitles. The subtitles we do have don't match what's being said. But whatever, it didn't really need subtitles. But this kid goes hunting with his tribe. They're hunting this type of bison type creature. This bison throws him over a cliff. His tribe think he's dead, but he survives. He survives a wolf attack, tames this wolf, and it's a fight for survival, getting back to his tribe. Not overly exciting, well shot and all that kind of stuff, but not overly exciting. Has its moments. They were speaking, I think, a made-up language. But I give it a 6. Unlike this pile of shit right now. Holy shit. Based on a video game. Or the video game was based on this. Whichever one. It came from the desert, and I watched it solely because of the poster. I'm thinking this is going to be like them. 1950s, them, giant ants. I haven't seen it still. But, yeah, this is giant ants. They are giant, but they're not like bigger than a house. They're just big bastards. Ugly bastards. I like the look of them. But what a horrible film. 2017, what a horrible, horrible film. It's got shit CGI, it's got shit acting, shit characters, a shit script. It's just a big pile of shit. And when the lead guy, who's one of the worst actors I've ever seen in my entire life, and his buddy come across a giant ant. They're not surprised that it's a giant ant. It's like there's no shot. Oh my god, how the fuck did that grow this big? It's just like there's a giant ant. Why does it have to be ants? It's like, why are you not surprised? What a horrible film. I give it a 1. Because it had a couple of hot women and I like the look of the ants. I give it a 1 out of 10. Big pile of shit. Then something much more quality, The Thing. Everyone knows The Thing. A fine film. An 8 out of 10. Then a film I've seen before from, I haven't written it down, I think 1986. Chopping Mall. Yes, Chopping Mall. When I was watching it for the second time, I was thinking, this reminds me of Dawn of the Dead, but with killer robots. This shopping mall has 3 new robotic security guards at night. There's a storm, they go haywire, there's some kids staying there overnight, and these killbots, as they're called, go on the rampage. Fun, silly, I give it a 7. I like it. I liked it the first time I watched it. Just a bit of fun. Then, on 2016, The Handmaiden, which I could have sworn I'd never seen, but it turns out that I had seen it. So I watched this, like 2.5 hour film, whatever it is, a second time. I remembered nothing of it. Set in Japanese occupied Korea, a con man poses as a count to seduce, then marry a Japanese heiress, commit her to an asylum and steal her inheritance. And he hires a young girl, a pickpocket, to become her maid, to whisper in her ear, he's the greatest thing ever, you've never been so happy since he's come around, or you look well since he's come around, blah 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 blah. Well shot, well acted. I enjoyed the first half very, very much. Then as we went on, I kind of losing interest a bit, but well worth a watch. Not bad at all. I give it a 7 out of 10, 2016. Then I watched that again, No Time to Die. And I enjoyed it again a little bit more than what I did last time. I give it an 8 out of 10. Not bad, very enjoyable. Then from 1965, The Heroes of Telemark. Norwegian film. The Nazis are making a lot of heavy water because they want to make the atomic bomb. So the Norwegian resistance sets out to stop them. And who is part of this Norwegian resistance with Norwegian names set in Norway? It's Kirk Douglas and Richard Harris. With no attempts to do any kind of Norwegian accents, it's Kirk Douglas. Not a bad film, a 6 out of 10. Filmed in Norway a lot of the time, lots of snowy mountains and stuff like that. I didn't mind it. Now it's raining. Then I watched Scanners, the science fiction film that has a lot of regard for it on YouTube. I know a lot of people like it. All about telepaths, and they fight other telepaths and they kill other people. Michael Ironside's in it. I liked it more than I did the last time. I'll give it a 6. Not bad. Telepath, they stare at you, then you start bleeding. It has that famous scene where someone's head explodes. The Undefeated with John Wayne. What's this about? 1969. In the tumultuous aftermath of the Civil War, Union officer John Henry Thomas John Wayne takes his heroic men west, while Southerner James Langdon takes his soldiers to Mexico. When their paths cross, they forge an uneasy friendship to fight off the Mexicans. Yeah, Union colonel, Confederate colonel, come together to fight the way. It's John Wayne. You can't go wrong with John Wayne most of the time. You really can't. Very good film. I like it. Then I watched Parasite, the film that everyone went crazy for when it came out. Best Picture winner. I don't know about that. I watched the black and white version, and to me the black and white version doesn't enhance it at all. But I was curious. We all know Parasite. Everyone knows it. Everyone's heard of it. Everyone's seen it. I give it an 8 out of 10. Don't really like anyone. The poor people who infiltrate the rich people's house. You don't like the poor people. The rich people throw their money around willy nilly, But I like it. I give it an 8 out of 10. Then another John Wayne film, The Sons of Katie Elder. Yes, the Elder brothers. There's 4 of them. John Wayne, Dean Martin, Earl Holliman and Michael Anderson Jr. They haven't all been together for 10 years. Their mother is dead. She's having a funeral. They bury her. John Wayne comes in. The elders are back together. One thing leads to another. And they start looking into how, why, when their father got shot. And the father died, why. And lots of stuff happens. You've got George Kennedy and Dennis Hopper. A very good film. I give it an 8. I like it. First half seems more about family than Western stuff. Then we get into more of the bang, 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 bang. More into the shooting. But I like that. 1968. Again, John Wayne. Can't go wrong with John Wayne a lot of the time. And I rounded off a film the week, should I say, with Edge of the Axe. And I watched this just because of the poster. Now, when it comes to horror films that I've never seen, I don't read the synopsis, because if I read the synopsis, good chances I think that sounds shit and I won't bother watching it. So I go by the poster. This was 1988. There's a guy going around killing people with an axe. It's a slasher. Again, if I had known it, I probably wouldn't have watched it, which is why I don't read what they're about. He wears like a white, a big giant sock over his face and goes around chopping people up with an axe. He's not in it enough. When he does kill someone, you hardly see anything, and a lot of the time the thing is dead. He's killed something, and it's just dead, and you go and see the body. I give it a 4. Not overly great, but if I'd have seen that film set in, made last year, I thought no. But it's the 80s. Kind of go with it a bit more. So that's everything I've watched this week. And hopefully I'll be back next week to do it all over again. So take it easy, people.